Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and today I would like to share with you guys this right here, my little titanium ring. This thing is worn out and absolutely beat to shit. There are scratches, there are, I wouldn't say gouges, but there's a couple really worn parts to this, and I'm gonna put a video right about here so you can see what it used to look like. All right, so now that you've seen what it used to look like all nice and close, you'll see in a sec how worn out this thing really is. But before I go to that and set up my whole anodizing thing, I finally put a fresh edge on this. This was the recent pickup from AM8 Knives. I got it specifically on White Mountain Knives, and I want to make a correction of a couple things. So I called this the Clistra, and there's no R in there. I'm just stupid and illiterate, and I don't know what I'm doing. There is no R. It's just Clista. That weird freaking name. Honestly, such a weird name. Doesn't matter. Not a big deal. It's a great little budget knife. I think it's about 52 bucks. You could also get it on Amazon. I will be linking the video of the unboxing of this down in the description, and I'm also putting the links into this. So it is available on Amazon. There are two colors. There's the satin and silver hardware with the gray G10. It's contoured, smooth, nice and comfortable, and then there's a black G10 variation. Those are the only two variations of this model. I think it's definitely a banger of a model, and being made by Migron Knives, this thing is just, it's pretty darn good for the money. I do definitely enjoy it quite a bit, but I went ahead and put a fresh edge on here, and I just wanted to show what I would consider to be a really good edge. So I believe this is a 600 grit edge, and it's butter, just going through paper. And of course, the paper test isn't going to show anything else but the cleanliness of the apex. This blade is kind of thick behind the edge for what it is and within its category, but it's still charming. There are a lot of things about it that I really do like and enjoy, and so that's it. So sharpening update on the Clista, not the Clistra. And then we're gonna go ahead and work on this bad boy right here. So I'm gonna take you down to my working station, do some editing, movie magic, and you'll see my whole setup nice and seamless. Alrighty, so this is what this thing looks like up close, and you can already see how much of a stark contrast this is in comparison to what I showed you before. Now, let's see if my camera will focus on this. Yeah, so a lot of the color stayed on the inside of the ring. And let me see. Yeah, that's a little bit more focused when it's, I guess, positioned a little further away. But you could see just how many scratches I've put on this thing. This does have a bevel, decorative bevel on both sides. It is a comfort fit, so it's contoured rounded on the inside. I forget what size this is. I don't have like really thick fingers. They're kind of on the skinnier side. And the flats, they were a very vibrant purple. The biggest, I guess, damage to this is probably this little spot right here. You can see that scratch right there. My camera's trying to like lock focus on this thing, and it's just not working. I'm still pretty new to using my new phone's camera. It's pretty cool. You can see a lot more stuff in texture and in detail, but it's still still having a hard time trying to like figure this thing out. But I'm sure you guys get the gist of it, that there is quite a bit of surface level damage that if you you could feel it. It's kind of rough right there, so I'm probably going to take some sandpaper to this thing just all over just to kind of smoothen out some of the harsher edges, mainly, you know, that flat right there. So at this point in time, I'm gonna go inside, give this thing a little bit of rough sanding, and then I'm going to put it in the acid. We can back up now a little bit. So that's there. And here I have the container of the Winx Rust Remover. This is a wonderful solution to use to eat away at titanium. It works very well. My only little tip and trick with that kind of stuff is that it doesn't really work too well when the liquid is cold. For whatever reason, it seems to work better when it's warm. So since we are here in my garage and it's rather fresh outside, I have it sitting in front of a little space heater under my table here, just to help me out too when I'm in here working on little projects and whatnot. So yeah, sand it, acid, and then we'll see how this thing looks like after a little bit of finishing work, and I'll see if I can do a little snapshot of this thing bubbling in the acid to show you guys at what point do I pull this thing out. The finish of titanium, typically when you let it sit in that acid for a long time, it comes out almost like a really matte bead blast, like a really powdery bead blast, because it's eating away at any surface texture and stuff like that. So you're not going to have much shine to it, which I don't mind. I'm going to attempt to do a stone washing on this ring. I've never actually practiced doing stone washing on titanium. I've only ever worked acid stone wash onto a blade, and I think titanium should be a lot easier because it is softer, at least surface level finishes. I think it would be pretty cool looking. So if I have that really powdery fine bead blast look, pulling it out of the acid and then throwing it into my my tumbler thing that I have set up over here, I think I can get an interesting look, and we'll just kind of run with it. I don't have any specific colorway. I'm just kind of going with whatever feels right. This may be green, this may be purple, this may be blue, pink. I don't freaking really care. Might even go gold for all I know. But yeah, this thing needs to be worked on for sure. We are back from the kitchen. Just put a quick little polish on this, only to get out any sort of like large scratches and really work off a lot of that old ano that was on there. As you can see, there's still a little bit on it, which is not a big deal. Gonna put it in this stuff right here, the Winx Rust Remover. Open this up very carefully, make sure you don't want to get any of this stuff on you, that's for sure. Take some tie wire, make a little bend in it, something like that. And just now we wait. That's it. See if we can get nice and close so you guys can see what this thing is looking like. Focus, damn it. It's not wanting to focus. Okay, I guess that's better. Alrighty, so I only stopped the recording for about 10-15 seconds because I forgot that when you actually remove any of the oxidation surface or anode that's on titanium and you go and put it into an acid, the actual process takes place much faster. I was planning to just sit back and like watch a YouTube video or two while this was cooking essentially. You'll see here as the tie is getting darker and darker and darker. If you even scroll this video back, you can see the big difference between how this looks right now versus how it did when I just put it in. And then if I can kind of bounce this thing around to get some of those larger scratches in view, they're essentially disappearing. There's a couple over there, but they're on their way out, that's for sure. So a little bit longer, you'll see all the bubbles start to form. See all that? So that is the acid eating away at the surface. I am so sorry for moving my camera around. I'm just trying to get a position so you guys can see what I see. All right. You could take it out, you know, whenever you feel like it's ready, really. But oh, that's a good one right there. You could see those scratches. The sheen and the reflectiveness will fade away. But since we're going to put a tumbling on this, it'll hide a lot of the scratches that used to be. But I want to put a really, really heavy tumbling on it to knock off a lot of the matte finish that's on it, and just give it a good, bright, sparkly, kind of scratched up look. I don't exactly have the means right now to do like a semi-polished stone washing. I would love to be able to you know, have a media tumbler that can do something like that, but as of the moment I do not. It's just a hand tumbling setup that I have. It has a bunch of aluminum oxide grit, aquarium gravel, and aquarium sand. That's all I really got to work with, and I've had great success with that. I am a home modder, so it's it's not like I have any reason to, you know, be purchasing a bunch of crazy machinery that costs more than the knives that I'm working on, right? But yeah, so at this point, say it's probably pretty good. I'm gonna make sure to have a neutralizing solution nearby. Something like borax and water is more than adequate to neutralize the process taking place here. So take this and a little bit off to the side, dump it into some borax and water to stop the process. Let's close this up, get it out of the way, make sure to avoid any chemical spills, right? And this thing should be pretty good at this point. My phone's doing this odd thing where it's wanting to like auto correct, and I need to freaking turn that shit off because it's getting kind of annoying. You'll see how dark this thing came out. If I were to anodize on top of this, it would not come out good at all. It would be very faint, almost pointless. I mean, hey, if you wanted to have a really powdery, dark metal wedding band, then, you know, this is probably all you really gotta do. But let's see if we can zoom in here a little bit so you can see what's going on. Yeah, so the acid ate away majority of the finish. Not majority of it, all of it. Let's see if we can find that big scratch that was there. That might be it right there, potentially. Oh no, it's got to be that right there. And what's funny is that as I run my nail on it to almost feel the burr of that deep scratch, it's completely rounded off and smooth. So I think this was a successful way to knock off all harsh edges and stuff like that, and really get off all the ano. At this point in time, hey, if you want to rock it just as is, cool, whatever, you know, have an industrial looking wedding band. This thing was like 10, 11 bucks, nothing crazy. But now is the fun part. We can go ahead and take it into, you know, your tumbling system of choice and just fucking go to town. Let me show you my setup. It's it's gross. It's such a mess. You can see all the crusties already falling off of it. Man, it's been a minute since I've tumbled anything, but I'm so zoomed up here. Let me back up a little bit. So it's this giant jug. I could tumble many parts all at once if I wanted to. It's like this like giant like plastic candy jar. It's already kind of falling apart because it's cheap. But yeah, so rocks, aluminum oxide, and sand. That's and a bunch of WD-40 just for lubrication. I don't do the soap because, well, you know what for. Yeah. Let's set stuff down there. Oh, I almost thought that there was like a leftover piece of something. There's no way. It's like when you're working on a, I guess, a piece of machinery or a car or something, you just find like a random bolt and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? So at this point, we could just take this thing and throw it in there. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hook it back onto this tie just so I could find it and have something to kind of, you know, dig it back out. I'm gonna roll up this lead just so it doesn't get in the way of the tumbling process, but leave a little something sticking out so I can pinch it out. And yeah, just throw that shit in there and just go to town. This is gonna be a good shoulder and forearm workout, that's for sure. Alrighty, so show you guys what this looks like when I go to take it out. I'm probably gonna run this thing, shaking it around vigorously in a circular pattern, 10-15 minutes, and I'll show you guys what that thing looks like. So I wanted to show you guys, I thought it was worth sharing, but I wanted to show you guys how ridiculous you'll look while doing this. It gets loud, it's hectic. If you have earbuds, turn the volume down. I'm only gonna run it just for a couple seconds, but it's obnoxious. I'm sure my neighbors hate me, but I don't give a shit. And that's really all I do. Sometimes if I have lengthy pieces like liners or a clip or a blade, I will kind of flip-flop back and forth. I've had pretty good success doing that technique, but because this is a round, small piece, there's no reason for me to do any of that. So yeah, that's what that looks like. So you're going to do that if you have a system like this. Yeah, you're gonna do that for a while and just hang in there, work out them shoulders. Okay, so I'm gonna be very careful with this. Not to try to get any oils or nothing on it. My hands are like stripped of everything. I got like really dry hands from constantly washing and scrubbing stuff. But you can see a lot of the acid has been knocked off and been replaced by this intricate and yet organic scratch pattern all over. Something that we like to call a stone washing. And that's exactly what this is. This is just simple stone wash on titanium. It's nice as is. Of course, you can stop here if this is the aesthetic that you like. But you know what? We're going to take this a step further. Get it in here. I have my power supply set up at, what is it at right now? 18.12. Tried to get it at 18, but we're just gonna call this 18. And let's just get in nice and close so you guys can see color change. So yeah, everything's already set up. Let's go ahead and I want to see if maybe I could turn this thing on its end potentially, without rolling away and touching things that it shouldn't. It might not work. Okay. It'd be nice if I had something inert that I could put in there, but let's just go ahead and try this out. So hopefully you guys could see it. Let me get a little bit over here, get this thing a little bit more centered. Adjust this a little bit. All right, about, yeah, that's good enough. Beautiful. Ooh, very nice. All right, very curious to see how that thing looks like out of the water. Got some purple. So this is a space on the color chart that is between the bronze and the purple. with a low voltage blurple. I'm gonna go ahead, turn off my system, give it a sec so that there's no current. Go ahead, take this out of here. And so we went a little bit further past the bronze, but with some hand oils and moisture, some of the brown does come out. Go ahead, drop this onto this little towel right here. Just give this thing a little wipe. Ooh, that is nice. That is very, very nice. All right. Cool. It's pretty neat. A little bit of excess moisture there. Don't pay no mind to that. Nice. This is a nice, subtle purple. Very, very rich, very dark. If I polish this up a little bit, it'd probably be closer to the blurple. The tighter the grain structure is on titanium, the finer you can tune and work with the color spectrum. When you start applying stone washes, bead blasts, and different media textures on the tie, it kind of bends the I guess reflectivity of the surface, allowing for different colors and tones to come through. But you know what? I think that looks pretty neat. And at this point, I think I'm gonna take it a step further and throw this back into the tumbler to get some of the raw tie peeking through. And I wanna see if I can put a lower voltage on this to get some gold on this. So we hit it at, what was it? It was 18.11. We can probably do 14 or even we'll just do 12. I'll just tune this thing to 12 real quick, just so it's already there. Come on. All right, whatever, 11. I have it set at 11. So I'm gonna go ahead, tumble this, wash it off, and I'll be right back. Okay, so after tumbling in some warm soapy water, this is what we're left with. You could see how abrasive just a little bit of sand and aquarium gravel could be. Yeah. So if you remember the very rich, mostly uniform color, a lot of it's been knocked off. Apart from the center, it's kind of tough, but there are some scratches in there. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this in here. Ooh. Stay, damn it. Okay, we're just gonna go for it. Okay, system is on 11.07. Go ahead, hit this thing. Very, very faint color change that happened. Sorry guys, I didn't really capture that one too well, a little too far away. But at least I think it was enough to get a pretty good look. Okay, doesn't look like much now. Let me go ahead and dry this off. Hey, isn't that something? So you have this gold flake kind of look all over it. It's very faint. There's not a whole lot to it, but it gives just the tiniest bit of detail that I think is worth the extra, I don't know, 10 to 20 minutes. It's something to appreciate up close, right? As most jewelry is. Now, if you were really skilled, you can do engraving work, you can polish this, then the other, maybe just the bevels. I think that'd be pretty cool to get a pretty wild contrast. But yeah, so we basically filled in all the scratches with bronze. It's a very faint bronze, but just enough to appreciate. I think it's pretty cool. And there we go. Something nice and simple, not too weird or funky, but enough to appreciate. I'm sure other people who modify and anodize stuff would definitely enjoy something like this and appreciate it for, you know, its simplicity. Again, if you want to practice on titanium and anodizing and doing different finishes, these little rings, I'll link them down below from the exact one that I got from Amazon. They're like between like 10 and 12 bucks. Like, they really don't cost much, and it's something you can wear. And you know, maybe if one day, hey, I'm feeling a little yellow, or maybe you just want silver. Yes, there's a silvery blue on the color spectrum that's very beautiful, actually. Maybe you want pink or blue or green, if I didn't ever say that. But this is cool. I like it. I like how this came out. If you guys like this video, go ahead and leave a like down below. If you are subscribed already, thank you. I appreciate all your support and your patience, of course. If you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing, because I have plenty more videos and content coming your guys' way. With that being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.